Hi, good evening and welcome to Hurdles. Tonight we have Cheyenne from Color Coordinators here with us tonight, and I am your host, Chanel Flanders. Please welcome me, the Gael family, and our viewers, Color Coordinators. We would like to hear about your journey to success.
Well, hi, good night, everyone. Well, my journey been a long one.
Great.
Where do I get started? Well, I've been painting from the age of 17 years, which would make this year 20 years I'm a painter. I have a registered painting business for the last 8 years, and I've been working on my own for the last 12.
Nice. Now tell me, right, you said the last 8 years you've been registered. Now, I know this is definitely a topic that I want to touch on. It's not a hurdle, but it's something that I see educational, because I know a lot of people basically carry on the day-to-day runnings of their business and it's not registered. So what would you say to our viewers who are in the process of building empires or emerging enterprises, the importance of actually having a registered business?
Well, for me, it was taking my business to another level, where to the point where you wanted everything to be done professional. Now, I come from the background where I don't really have much business in my family like that, where I could get a lot of advice. So it was a lot of trial and error. Sometimes they do the wrong thing first, but eventually you get it right. But being registered is very important in terms of getting in the banking system, like having a business account and all of these things, and building your credit and getting loans, and if you definitely want to get into your own business, one of the first things you should get done, definitely.
Great, great. So I just said, that's definitely a question I wanted to ask, because that is of much importance to persons that definitely want to, have a professional setup, especially when coming to transactions and stuff. That is very, very important. Now tell me, you said you started, your business is almost 20 years old. How did you get into this? Well, were you always artistic?
No, actually not. I started working, painting straight out of school with my in-laws. Right? I had my sister, boyfriend come from a 3 generation of painters. His children were painters, his father was a painter, his grandfather was a painter. So they come from, that all they used to do. That was their thing. And they pulled me in, and I started, and basically they take advantage of me because of my height, which I developed a very sharp cutting edge, because I used to be cutting all the edges on 500 houses. And then work, so basically I did all the first set of houses that I had down there. I basically cut the top in them.
Nice.
And from that I developed a very sharp edge, and there were a lot of other contractors there saw me, and they give me a better opportunity, like how much they're paying you here, and basically I branch off onto the other contractor, and then I move on to the next one. And I've never been fired yet. So basically I say, well, I have something that people find, that they find interesting or they find good. So I decide, let me try it on my own, because if everybody grabbing towards me like this, let me try and become a contractor all by myself.
Right.
Which was a journey. But basically when business gets started, I decide, I want to take this to the next level. I actually get to really enjoy what others do, and I wanted to taste, changing name. When people say painter a long time, it had a kind of stigma, like always have somebody down the road who does paint, these kind of things. So there was nothing really like an educated painter, because there's no way in China that teach people how to paint. So either you learn from somebody, or you paint your bedroom for Christmas, or your mother's house, and you feel you're a painter. But I take it to the next level and did a lot of online courses, and continue to further it, and still furthering it up to this day.
All right, so for those of you just joining us, we are actually here with Color Coordinators. We are actually about to view his work, because listen to me, when I tell you he is talented, I mean it. He is talented when coming to his hands. So I'm going to send up a few of the images of his work for you. I will let you all get his contact information and his social handles a little later on in the interview. But you could just take a sneak peek at his work at the moment. So Cheyenne, I know you also used to do a lot of modeling and stuff. How did that go hand in hand with your business?
Well, yeah, I used to do a lot of modeling, but people started, well, I get more known for the modeling than the actual painting, and people actually didn't even know what I was doing. So they actually thought that I was a full-time model, right? But that didn't used to pay the bills. I've been a painter long before I was a model, so people who didn't know my name, they used to call me a model boy.
Right.
Which I hate. Just me nowadays, I hate. But I decided to use that as my advantage. And Instagram is my playground. For every time I make a post, it's phone calls, it's messages. And I realized when I put myself in front of the image, before the slide, it always get more views because more people know it, and then it end up being like, you know, hey, he does paint, this kind of way, and funny enough, it worked for me, and my page grew from that, and I still continue to use it up to this day.
All right, nice. So I was just touching on the modeling for a little bit, right? But with regards to some of the hurdles you would have actually encountered on the way, let's talk about that.
Hurdles, well, in terms of what the...
Any aspect you're comfortable with.
Oh, well, not much with the modeling in terms of hurdles, but the painting, it was a good few. I've been outsmarted a lot. And that's where contracts come in. Written work is very important. And email quotations and these things like that. And always good to have your little letterhead and put in your watermarks under your work because there are actually pages used to use my work, and that's why I start branding and putting my logo on all of my material. I actually had some material like copyright, like there are certain paintings that I have done that is one of a piece. I would never do it for another client.
Right.
And they literally don't want me to do that for anybody else, so I actually had those certain pieces, copyright and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen photos of all in foreign of some of my work. I had clients fly out to the country when the job is almost finished and change a phone number, and yeah, I've been burned a lot. Yeah, burned a lot. So that is why people work is very, very important.
Understood. So I also have a question as it pertains to customized work. I know you've done work for a lot of our local celebs, for instance, Amazing Dolls, Palace, and probably other few you might want to mention. In terms of customization, how do you go about? Do you normally conceptualize for the client, or they kind of tell you what their vision is and you bring it to life?
Well, that's exactly it. You already answered the question. You answer yourself. You tell me, you give me an idea of what you would like and the colors, and I bring it to life. Pen to paper. You know, I start. My brother works with me as well. He's more artistic in terms of drawing, and I just add the paint to it. So we just work as a team in terms of like doing these certain designs. Sometimes most of it is in my head. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing before I start, but it just come together on the spot. So it is be hard to explain to a client, but I know where I want. But so far, I've never disappointed anybody. But thank God for that.
Well, that is actually good to hear. I know you also have, like, in terms of your time, what is your time factor like in terms of being able to juggle, especially in peak season? I mean, with the quality of your work, how do you make out in peak season? I mean, it's just you and your brother. Majority of the time is you alone. How do you make out?
No, well, honestly, I have a team. There's It's actually me and 3 others, depending on how heavy the workflow is, right? So when we're doing like exteriors of houses and full interior, because it's not just painting, because we just do electrical. As I said, I am a professional painter, so I build a team around me of professionals and just take the work as serious as I just take it. I treat every house as if it's mine. You understand? So I wanted to build a team, and which I have now, where people just take work as serious as I do. You understand? So I have a plumber, I have an electrician, I have gypsum. I myself just do the full finishing, that is skin coating. Skin coating and full finishing. Sorry, I mix it up. That is 2 different things. Yeah, I went and studied that as well to get the wall the extra smoothness. Yeah, right? I continue to further my art of painting in terms of learning different courses and stuff, because Kishan Walcott is one of my clients, right? And when people say, they can say what they want. I've been there watching how this individual is trained 3 times a day, twice a day, very hard, very hard. Now, the road to the top is very long, but it's very hard to stay to the top.
That is true.
You understand? So he was once a champion, and to me, he will always be a champion. And I have a kind of way I just talk to myself and tell myself I'm the best. So in order to be the best, you always have to stay on top. So you can't say, well, I'm the best and I cool here now, because I always continue. Yes, don't ever get comfortable. So right now I am actually sorting out my visa. I want to go away and do a course right now. I don't want to spill the beans just yet. But yeah, but I just want to continue to learn and grow and grow.
All right. Now you said you have a team, right? And I know it's very difficult when coming to building a team, especially when it comes to a business, right? I mean, when coming to the entertainment and the nonsensical lifestyle, that's the easiest team to build. But when coming to a business, it's much more difficult. What was that journey like for you in trying to pull a team that is just as dedicated as you are?
Well, that was another difficult thing because I started bringing in younger people and teaching them the trade. I always like to help because each one help one. That way, you did your part. And you teach somebody a skill, and you could also go along and make money as well. But a lot of people like to take the shortcut, and they say, you know what, if Cheyenne making money, why not take Cheyenne clients? But my clients are my clients for a reason. And when I get a client, I just get a client forever. Because once I do work for you, the quality of work that you get, you're not going to find it elsewhere. So you're comfortable with me. So a lot of our problems are loyalty, So when it comes to that and dealing with clients, only 2 of my workers deal with clients, which is one is my brother and one is another worker been working for me for the last 8 years. So when it comes to dealing with business and client like that, when it comes to the work here, on the job site here, but when it comes to actually dealing with the client, it's only 2 people besides me that do that.
Okay, so you've basically realized the importance of, even though it's a small structure, of actually having a structure or a chain of command in the sense of who handles certain things, which is equally important. All right. So, guys, we are actually going to take a short break, and we'll be back to discuss more with Cheyenne from Color Coordinators about his journey to success. Guys, and welcome back to Hurdles Global Talk Show, and we are here this evening with Cheyenne from Color Coordinators, and we are discussing his journey along the way and some of the hurdles he would have encountered to success, right? So Cheyenne, now I know you also have a child, right? And I know family life is kind of difficult, especially when you're starting a business and having to go out there. What was that journey like for you? How did you tie the 2 in?
Well, I put a lot of time into my work, but I appreciate being a father. And I have a very, very, very loving daughter that is my ball. So anything she see me doing, she want to be a part of. So I haven't bring her into the painting world just yet, you know. But I've been able to juggle it too, and seem to be doing fine now, this far.
Okay, well, that is actually great because a lot of people, myself at some point, you know, it was kind of hard for me to balance, you know, especially when you're trying to get the business where you want it to be, where you envision it to be. Sometimes, you know, you fall short, but well, that's part of life, right? Tell me about color coordinators. When did you actually envision color coordinators as to where it is right now? What was the birth of it for you? When did you realize that, listen, this is something that I could take to a whole other level?
Okay, well, it started with a coaster. All right, a friend of mine gave me a coaster, just like the Ordinary Drinks coaster, for my birthday. Right, and that's still, up to this day, one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. The coaster basically said, I'm proud to be a rag rolling, room refrigerating, something else painter. I can't remember the whole speech, how it went now. So as I was a painter, they gave it to me, and I find it was real cool. Color coordinating. That was one part. Proud to be a room refrigerating, color coordinating, rag rolling painter. Right?
Nice.
So when I see the color coordinating, it hit me. And I was like, color coordinating, because basically that is what we just do. We just put colors together.
Right.
And I take it from there. I went and get it registered. And my first logo, well, right now is the double C with the name. But my first logo was actually an astronaut. And everybody would ask me why. It would be an astronaut basically floating in space with a colored planet behind him.
Right.
So everybody would ask me why you choose an astronaut as your logo. I said, because that is where my head is at. I said, well,
explain.
Because I said, all right, basically when you're small, your parents used to always tell you the sky's the limit.
Right.
Right, but technically, if they say shoot for these cars, or even if you also think as an astronaut, clearly the sky is not the limit. So saying the sky is the limit is actually limiting yourself.
Right.
So it might sound a little far-fetched, but I used to say, well, I'm not the best painter in Trinidad, I'm not the best painter in the world. I'm the best painter in the world, so I basically conquered a planet and painted over a planet and moving on to the next. So that is how far ahead my mind was at, you know. And that is part of my future plan, because I do want color coordinator to just be a thing in Trinidad, because one of my steps is to actually open like a brick and mortar where it would have different panels or different textured walls, full finish walls, glitter walls, you know. So that way, more the older heads not really that into Instagram, and people more like to feel and see.
Right.
So I want to open up a place like that. That is what I have in plan, and where you could feel and see the products before you actually purchase. Yeah, and I would like to set that up all over the Caribbean.
Okay, so why did you actually change? I mean, actually listening to the concept of the logo previously and looking at your current logo, why did you change it though?
I wouldn't say I rebrand my company, but upgrade my company.
Okay.
So I just find the astronaut, I kind of outgrew that, and I didn't think I need to explain myself to anybody. I think my work started to talk for itself at this point.
Right.
So I just kind of keep it clean and mature look. And
nice. So I guess it now explains, when you look at the first logo, it doesn't just explain your mental, but that stage of your business. So now that you've upgraded and you're at a different level in your business, I see the upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you see the difference is long time. Well, Sherwin-Williams love me, and that is one of my favorite brands. No, I'm not downgrading the other local brands, but we have a relationship. So they self have sent me out to a lot of shows, exhibitions, and one-day courses and things like that, so which I appreciate a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When I stepped into the room along with a lot of big known contractors, which I didn't know who they were, but the thing is, they knew who I was.
Right.
So that shows some kind of growth and a little threat.
Well, that's always good, eh? That's always good. Fresh faces, new talent.
Yeah.
You are the future. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So tell me more about your vision for your business outside of actually wanting to open a brick and mortar. Do you intend to like actually have like a school?
Well, to be honest with you, not to say the offer, but the idea come to me this week, and I really considering it because there's a guy who I learn a lot from as well. He's a local painter, but he more gravitated into Venetian plaster, which I do as well. And he's really good at it, and he gets his, well, I don't know how to explain it, but he could certify you to be a painter, and he could get a we call it certificate and stuff through him, right? Through his courses and stuff now. And he tell him now, you know, you should pass on some of this knowledge. But I always I wanted to reach a certain level before I start teaching now. But to me, people does always tell me that I'm good at teaching and explaining stuff when in terms of painting, right? So I probably might just do that. So that is something I really have.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, based on your work, I mean, I've seen your work and I've looked at it over the years. I mean, you're good at what you do, and now is a time where it's not just about, you know, how educated you are, how much master's degrees, etc. Now it's more about having a skill and being able, you know, to balance and have multiple streams of income. And I think that is also going to give you a certain level of fulfillment, knowing that, okay, I have brought up X amount of persons and brought them to a level that they could literally fish. You know, it's definitely something fulfilling when you could actually teach somebody to fish than just give them a fish.
Yeah, I understand, because what the COVID had teach a lot of people is where trades and you know
are very important.
Are very important right now. And when my brother started, my brother was he's an A-class electrician, so he didn't know anything about painting. But he worked for a company for years, and through the COVID that come to an end, right? And I teach my brother how to paint, and my brother is an excellent painter now. The guy who worked for me for 8 years, excellent painter. He just always want to war with me to see who's the best.
Well, I think competition is always good, right? I think competition is always good.
We just keep it exciting, man. But you know, we just have fun while we work. So we take our work very serious, but at the same time, you know, when you enjoy what you do, it don't really feel like work. You know, so we just keep it cool and, you know, have fun while we do our job.
Oh, okay. All right. You didn't mention much in terms of the financial aspect of your business, though. How did you what's the word I'm looking for? How did you take a business from point A to point B financially? Did you have to approach the bank for a loan? Was it something that you kind of just got gigs off of and put money to the side for that?
Well,
I know that's always an issue when coming to like actually starting up a business.
That was tough. My first attempt for a loan was actually Netco, which they said that I was qualified, and when I went, when I went to go through with everything, they were actually didn't have the funds, so they were just giving me something to start up for the while, and that was, I actually told them I wasn't bothering with that, and after that I decided to buy all my material as the jobs go along, I bought all my material piece by piece. I own a lot of material because not material, sorry, tools. Sorry, I was using the wrong word. I bought a lot of tools because I just use the best. I only work with the best. To be the best, you have to work with the best. I spray guns. I actually work on stilts. I actually have, you name it, power washers. I have everything up to mark to give me the best look that I could possibly get.
So I realized, okay, aside from the fact that you have a team that does multiple things, you yourself do more than just the painting. Could you give me like a list of your other services?
All right. Me, myself, along with the painting, well, I just call it basic painting because it becomes so normal to me now. Besides for the basic painting, I just do skin coating, what more people know as modding. Full finishing. Full finishing is something like that design walls. Artistic walls, I do glitter walls. I also do stucco, what is a kind of new thing now. It was more foreign thing, but a lot of Trinidadian houses doing it now. Along with epoxy floors and counters. Well, there's other courses that I have done. I think that's all I can remember for now. Okay. But I believe I have a few more. But that's all I can remember for now.
All right. Okay, so I'm actually going to ask you now to give our viewers your contact information, your social media handles, so that they can actually get in contact with you for your services.
All right. So, well, you can find me on Instagram at color_coordinators, Facebook color coordinators, professional painting services, and you could WhatsApp me and contact me at 460-6547. I do have a website built just yet, but something I'm working on, so very soon.
All right. Okay, so we are actually going to take a break and we'll be back with you shortly. Good evening and welcome back. We are here on Hurdles Global Talk Show with Cheyenne from Color Coordinators, who is going to give you all his list of services again and his social media handles so that you all can feel free to contact him for business.
Right, yeah. And I know you had asked me just now, one of the things when I say I rebranded, but I didn't really rebrand because I changed from being painting services to contracting services because I supply more to the table now. So
nice.
I personally do skin coating, full finishing, epoxy floors, glitter walls, stucco. That is my field. And along with me, I have a team of electricians, plumbers, gypsum, and covered work. The correct term for that. Joiners, right? So yeah, you can find us at Color Coordinators Professional Painting Services on Facebook, and on Instagram is color_coordinators. Or you could always feel free to contact me, phone or WhatsApp on 460-6547.
That contact number again is?
460-6547.
All right, so you have heard it here on Hurdles. I am just going to show you all a couple more of his work. It is, listen, absolutely amazing. This is just a few of his shots, so you all can feel free to check out his social media handles where you can view more of his work. He also customizes. He does once in a lifetime pieces, customized pieces for individuals, so you can check him out. I mean, Christmas right around the corner, and with the way the pandemic has been going, I'm sure this Christmas people want to do a little painting, a little changing around. Color Coordinators is definitely the person to contact for all your color coordinating services and much more. So, is there any last words that you would like to leave with our viewers in terms of advice, inspiration?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thanks for having me.
You're most welcome.
And to all the younger people who are thinking about starting a business, don't start thinking, just do. And continue to push, you see. And many times I and all have think about giving up and, you know, doing something else. But as I say, when you enjoy what you do, you don't feel like work. So once you have a passion for something, continue to push. And in the end, it will pay off.
All right. Well, you've heard it here first on Hurdles Global Talk Show with Cheyenne from Color Coordinators. I would like to thank you all for tuning in this evening with us to listen to Cheyenne's journey. It was definitely one that you could take from, be inspired, and be motivated by. Thank you very much to Rush Apparel. Thank you very much to Chef Creations. Thank you very much to Ashayuri Marketing and Advertising. Our Gael family. We will be back here again next week at 9 p.m. with another interesting story. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.